Wow. It got really dark all of a sudden. A lot darker than I expected it would in this amount of time. I said we should get back before it gets dark, but I feel like we would be okay. It is very beautiful after all. Every time I got the chance, I would go outside when it was dark. Being cautious, of course, and just stare into the night sky. It is such a beautiful thing, space. So much wonder and mystery. So many objects like stars, nebulas, and quasars. Ooh, I just realized you may not know what that is. Sorry. I'm like a big space nerd. Do you want me to explain? You don't mind? Well, okay then. Well, a star, which you probably already know, is a massive ball of primarily hydrogen and helium, with different layers of elements like carbon, neon, and iron, with the denser stuff being in the center. A nebula is a cloud of gas or dust in space, which can be made from the remnants of a star after they die, or gravitational attraction. A quasar is when a black hole rips apart an object in such a way where a ton of energy is given off from the black hole. They look like very, very bright stars. Yeah, I told you I was a space nerd. I didn't confuse you, did I? A teacher? I don't think I'd be ready for something like that. At least not anytime soon. It may not seem like it, but I am a bit socially awkward. Not in front of a few people, but a whole class of students would probably put me off. It is very nice to have all this knowledge, though. Although, I am probably very limited with information if it comes to anything else. Oh, funny you should say that. My name actually does have something to do with space. The word Lyra is actually in reference to a star constellation. If you look over that way, you should be able to see it. It's the one that looks like a wonky rectangle with a bent tail. If you connect the stars, that is. Here, give me your hand and I'll point you to it. There. That one right there. I'm not sure what prompted my parents to name me that, but regardless of the reason, I like the name. By the way, your hand is freezing. Oh, you think my hands are soft? Well, thank you. I can keep holding your hands in mine if you like. How is it that they are so cold already? Well, we have only been out here a little while. If I do this, your hands will warm up just a bit. Hey, I've seen you stare at my ears since you were in the house. Do you maybe want to touch them? I mean, only if you want to, of course. Ooh. Your hands feel so nice on my ears. It's like you know what you're doing, even though you haven't met a person like me before. It's making me feel all tingly. In a good way, of course. My tail? You want to touch that now? I don't think so, pal. That's reserved for the highly respected. No, you ain't getting it. I can move it, remember? You just keep trying, but it won't happen. Get off you? That wouldn't be fun now, would it? Now I get to touch your ears. Ugh. All squidgy and weird? Oh, come on, stop squirming. You love it, really. You're the one on your back here, so I can do whatever I want, and you're in no position to stop me. Huh. Oh. Fine. I'll get off you. Your ears are very soft, you know. But not as soft as mine, though. By the way, how's your back now? I know it hasn't been a long time or anything. I just want to make sure that you're okay. Really? That's good then. I just want to make sure I'm not hurting you. That kind of explains why you didn't act hurt when I pushed you over just then. I don't mean to ruin the mood or anything, but I think we should start to eat this food that we have because I don't know about you, but I am kind of hungry. You don't want me to snack on you now, do you? I'm just kidding. I'm not a vampire. That's a funny thing, too. When I have my head covered with my hood, and people first take a glance at my face, they assume me for a vampire. On closer inspection, though, it's really easy to tell that I'm not. But merely a Neko-chan. In some cases, it doesn't matter, as certain people are afraid of both. Anyway, let's get to eating this food. I picked some garlic mustard, wild carrots, nettle, and some morel mushrooms, along with the crackers I found in the house. Don't worry if you don't know what some of those are. Nothing's poisonous. After all, I am eating it with you. How do I know so much? Well, I don't really. I found a book about wild edibles a while back, and I read a bit of it. I only know those plants as they are the only ones that grow in the area. Nothing really special. You can eat all of them raw, apart from the mushrooms. They need to be cooked. Speaking of cooking, do you know how to get a fire started? Because that's one of the things I'm really not that great at. Really? Yes, if you have matches on you, then that's perfect. Just gather a few sticks and logs and then light them up. You know what you're doing. Would you look at that? It's going so well already. I bet you really could have used this, judging by how cold your hands were. In fact, it's good for me as well. I was getting a little cold too. So thanks for that. We won't need any sort of cookware. We'll just leave the mushrooms by the coals when the fire dies down. Also, you should properly run those nettles through the fire a little, just to burn off the stingers. Don't want to be stinging our mouths now, do we? Have you ever tried nettle before? I thought you must have. It's the sort of thing that everyone's been near at one point or another. Whether it was to make tea with, or just because they got stung. It's also something everyone has done. Been stung by one. The amount of times I've been stung by them while wandering out here is just annoying. How often do I do this? Not a lot. I can make fires to cook upon if I'm very lucky, but most of the time I just buy food off merchants if I can't find any in the wild. I occasionally do jobs for people in the villages to buy the odd bit of food and water as well. Same with other miscellaneous supplies. I usually like to keep to myself when I'm in town. I don't like to get into any other people's business, and I don't want them in mine. Obviously, there's exceptions. For example, a mysterious person lying down on the forest floor. But in most cases, I keep to myself. Anywho, let's start eating our food. Apart from the mushrooms. Unless you want to die. Which, I'm guessing you don't. Ow. So, how does it taste? Good? Huh? Really? That's great. I'm glad you like it. Like I said, they grow around this area. Haven't seen them anywhere else, really. I didn't think you would like it, but here you are telling me that you do. And that makes me happy. No harm in trying new things, is there? Like meeting a random cat girl and spending time with her. Just for the record, you don't think I'm talking too much, do you? Like, I'm not rambling about pointless things that you don't care about? You like my rambling? Oh, good. I just want to make sure I'm not clouding your head with pure nonsense that you'd rather not hear about. But if you enjoy it and it gives you insight into my life and stuff, then I'm more than happy to keep going. Oh, look. The fire's dying down. How about we put those mushrooms on for a little? Then we could gobble them up. Well, that's a good question. What should we do tomorrow? I was just thinking we could go for a walk around the countryside. Maybe find a cave or a village to go through. It may be a nice experience for you and a good look at the surroundings for me. Just so I know where I should be heading off to next. It's also much needed exercise, so that both you and I can keep our bodies looking good. You think I already look good? Thank you. You're not put off by the fact that I have the, cat ears or tail. Or do you think that's cute as well, huh? Oh, stop it! You're making me blush. Why are you so flattering to be around? I'm very glad you're so fine being around me. Oh, by the way, I think I'm going to allow you permission to touch my tail now. I feel that you are now worthy. Oh, now you don't want to touch it? I see how it is, you tease. Just like how I could stop you from touching it. I could just shove my tail in your face, huh? I know you're joking. I can just tell that you really want to touch my tail. That's just curiosity kicking in. It's a common thought to touch things that you haven't seen before. So go on then. You can pet it. Hey, would it be a problem if I ask you to put your arm around me? Over my shoulder again? You know, like when I was moving you out of the forest. But this time not because you're injured. Something about that just made me feel good inside. Oh, I can't help but just keep staring at the sky. It looks so magical. Have you ever wondered if there was anything out there? Maybe some sort of habitable planet with life? Like a massive alien city? Maybe even two people just like us, sitting next to each other, staring out into the night sky, wondering the same thing we are. Not to sound cheesy or anything, but when I found you on the ground, the night felt a bit more... How do I put this? Alive? I just want to say, thank you. The last time I felt like this was when my master was with me. Sorry for bringing up the past again, but I just thought, you'd like to know. What you're doing here with me will stick with me for a very long time. So, thank you.